Today's story will quicken your pulse. He sat before the door thinking after getting home. Suddenly, a cry from his daughter rang out in the room. He went in to find her thrashing as if a bizarre dance. She was mumbling strange things, and it took a lot for Diogo to calm her down. He wondered, why did a fever feel like surviving a reality show? What's weird is that the next day, not only did she recover, but she also started gobbling down the fish she used to hate 10 of them. Diogo's mum was left speechless. She claimed the granddaughter might have summoned some dirty stuff and was ready to bring a wizard over for a live show. Diogo shrugged and headed to work. Little Yang also brought his nephew, who was a church lady's helper and had lived in Japan, so he could be a translator. Talk about a bonus. The trio retraced yesterday's route, quickly found the Japanese's house, but he wasn't home. Diogo ignored the first dog. He told his nephew to guard the yard while he and Little Yang searched the house. Soon enough, Diogo stumbled upon a strange side room with a pitch-black statue. A huge black goat's head sat before the statue, the room resembling an evil Kosovo. Meanwhile, Little Yang discovered a secret room in the bedroom, plastered with photos of people who looked like they'd participated in a cult. Little Yang realized that the strange happenings in the village were closely linked to the Japanese guy, but he froze, even ignoring the barking dog. While Diogo and his nephew battled the beast, the Japanese guy suddenly returned, looking like a security guard with an overwhelming aura. Despite having questions, no one spoke. They drove off, and Diogo asked Little Yang about the secret room, noticing his odd look. Little Yang slowly pulled out the shoe with Diogo's daughter's name on it, and Diogo's heart sank instantly. He anxiously told Diogo that the Japanese guy not only took pictures of the living, but also collected their belongings. Talk about the nightmare keeping the circle going. Diogo realized a series of tragedies had struck the village and feared the next victim could be his family. That's truly disturbing. Upon hearing, Diogo rushed home, held the shoe, and asked his daughter if she'd seen the Japanese lately. His daughter nodded, refusing to share details. Diogo eyed her odd reaction, puzzled. So, he made up his mind to sneak into his daughter's room at midnight, only to discover that his usually obedient daughter had actually torn up her homework, which was covered with bizarre drawings. In the end, Diogo discovered a lot of strange things about his daughter, who not only cursed him out but also threatened to end him. He finally came to a realization about how serious the problem was. If this situation were allowed to persist unchecked, their entire family would be at risk. Right then, he took his nephew and went to the Japanese guy's place again, and this time, the guy was conveniently home. Diogo officially investigated him as a police officer, but unfortunately, this country cop didn't recognize that as an illegal immigrant's passport. Still, he searched the house under the pretext of a homicide investigation. But at that moment, the secret room was totally empty of photos and belongings, and the Japanese guy innocently claimed he just burned everything. Diogo dashed into the kitchen and found the burning ashes. He realized they were destroying evidence. What infuriated him most was the calm expression on the Japanese guy's face. Furious, Diogo smashed the room that looked like a shrine. He didn't even spare the big black dog and told the Japanese guy to leave the village in 3 days. Then what's next? The Japanese guy calmly watched the crow pecking the big black dog, clearly not acting like a normal person. He seemed to be quietly plotting something terrifying. Sure enough, the next day, a black goat appeared. Diogo heard his wife scream and was frantic, but a sudden stroke left him paralyzed. In the end, it was his wife who saved him, rushed him to the Chinese medicine clinic to recover, and when he woke, his first concern was still for his daughter. But his mother told him not to worry, saying that Grandma Wang next door was helping to take care of her. Diogo was unable to stay calm at that, dragging his stroke-ridden body home, only to find he was too late. Grandma Wang had already been dealt with by his daughter. Colleagues from the station rushed over. Although his daughter was a minor and immune to punishment, villagers were more concerned about the odd cases surrounding them. Little Yang felt something was off too. Ever since meeting the Japanese guy, he had been running a high fever and feeling achy all over. So he began to suspect that Guy was a demon, and all the weird happenings in the village were because of him. After hearing those words, Diogo appeared to have made up his mind, and on the following day, with his mother's recommendation, he went to find the most renowned local fortune teller in the surrounding villages. The fortune teller glanced at Jiugo's daughter and, ignoring the crowd's bewildered stares, started searching the yard. Eventually, he targeted the pickled vegetable jar, and when he smashed it, it turned out to be a dead crow. Next, the fortune teller started a ritual to perform the first exorcism on Jiugo's daughter. He swung a willow branch at the girl repeatedly. Jiugo, in pain watching, knew this was the only way to save his daughter. Jiugo could only watch helplessly as his daughter fainted, and then the fortune teller asked her whom she had seen recently. Jiugo told him about the Japanese guy, to which the fortune teller concluded that the guy was indeed a demon. Moreover, he said he just temporarily repelled it and must eliminate it quickly. Otherwise, not just his daughter, but the entire village would be doomed. Meanwhile, another family massacre occurred, with the bodies thrown into a well, and when the police retrieved them, they found the husband's body was missing. Thus, the police suspected that he had murdered his own family members, yet they were puzzled as to why the crime scene was arranged to resemble an altar where rituals might have been conducted. After learning that another murder had occurred, Jiugo rushed to the fortune teller's temple. Upon learning the situation, the fortune teller stated that the demon was indeed troublesome, but unfortunately, he claimed he had the ability to annihilate it completely, but it would cost 1,000,000 won. For his daughter, Jiugo reluctantly agreed, but he still didn't believe that Japanese guy was a demon. To him, he just looked like a normal guy, but the fortune teller insisted that he was indeed a demon. Jiugo wondered, why would a demon target his daughter? Don't forget to subscribe for more bizarre tales.